I've been a drummer all my life. When I was 3, my parents gave me my first drum and asked me to leave the pots, pans, and dishes alone. As a young adult, I recognized the healing power of ensemble drumming, and I founded a small nonprofit called Rhythm of Life. I drum with groups of people of all ages and levels of ability. Drumming has been and continues to be the adventure of my lifetime, providing me with the opportunity to get to know people in my community and in communities all across the United States and around the world. I've studied a variety of drumming styles from West Africa and the African diaspora. The drumming that touches my soul is the ceremonial drumming of Haiti, the drumming of Vodou. Haiti is struggling. It receives billions of dollars in aid and assistance from experts in medicine, engineering, education. I'd like to help. I don't have a lot of money, and I'm not an expert in anything that's typically useful, but there is one thing that I can do. Vodou is based on African and Taino spiritual traditions. It is religion, it is culture, it is community. It supports and promotes physical and spiritual well-being. It has been described as the axis upon which Haiti turns. At the time of the Haitian Revolution, Vodou offered an extraordinary level of spiritual, emotional, and physical support to a population of slaves as they struggled for 12 years to become the second independent republic after the U.S. and the first independent black republic in this hemisphere. Vodou is a powerful, widespread social, spiritual, and cultural edifice. Many people believe it has the potential to catalyze sustainable positive change in Haiti today. I had played at several Vodou ceremonies. The other drummers were welcoming and encouraging. I was deeply curious to find out if I could tap into the power of drumming, as I had in so many other places, in a way that might provide me with the opportunity to help communities here. And I was curious about something else, too. Most of us have heard some pretty scary stories about Vodou. Tales of sorcery, zombies, voodoo dolls, and pins. What's it really all about? To get a better sense of what's happening with Vodou today in Haiti, I'd have to broaden my horizons. Nerat Ilderis is the Guetodi, the regional leader of the South Department. He is one of the most influential representatives of the Confédération Nationale Vaudouisane Haïtienne, the Haitian National Confederation of Vaudouisane, or KNVA as it is widely known. Nerat started us off on a journey that would allow me to drum for ceremony and to meet Vaudouisane, many of them also representatives of KNVA, all over Haiti. Jean-Samuel Altima, Sam, my friend and brother, had taught himself English as a boy. He agreed to go with me, and we made a plan. Our friend Raoul Ganest agreed to drive, and off we went. Vodou promotes the idea that there is an overarching power of goodness and love, containing all things and contained within all things. Most Vaudouisans call this energy bon Dieu, meaning simply good God. The various specific energies of the universe that surround us every day, for example, love, courage, music, healing, fertility, the power of the sea, are represented by a vibrant array of individual entities called Loa. The Loa are analogous to the demigods and saints of other traditions. The Loa interact with people at ceremony by mounting or possessing temporarily and benignly the body of a celebrant. The ritual offering of an animal to the Loa is sometimes part of ceremony. This has nothing to do with cruelty. Offering an animal during ceremony is not only a way to honor the Loa, but a respectful affirmation of the sacrifice the spirit of the animal makes in order to feed the community. And for many, the most nourishing of what may be infrequent meals are found at ceremony. If you're a little nervous about this aspect of ceremony, don't worry. It isn't necessary for me to include footage of animal sacrifice in this film. Vodou is an open, embracing, warm, non-judgmental, accepting religion. It offers a spiritual home for anyone who wants it. There is a syncretism between Vodou and Catholicism that's easy to see. For example, images of the saints depict the Loa. Vodouisans see no contradiction in celebrating both religions. Many Haitians go to Mass on Sunday and ceremony on any other given day. Because Vodou is, at its heart, open, accepting, and affirming, it has long been a haven for Haiti's LGBTQ community. A community of Vodouisans is called a lakou. The spiritual leader of the lakou is an ungan or mambo, male or female member of the Vodou clergy. Ungan and mambo are also skilled herbalists and provide medical care and often an infirmary for anyone who might need to stay for a while. Many of the bottles and bowls in an unfo, the inner sanctuary, contain herbal medicines. Central to the lakou is the peristyle, an area set aside for ceremony. There are a lot of books about Haiti, and there's a lot to say. Here's a brief overview. In 1492, Columbus landed on Hispaniola. The local population of Taino were nearly wiped out. In 1501, the Spanish began importing slaves from Africa. Escaped slaves were known as Maroons. Through the 16th century, Maroons and surviving Taino lived deep in the mountains together. Taino and various African spiritual cultures blended, and Vodou began to emerge. Eventually, Vodouisans adopted the imagery of the saints to represent the Loa, and Vodou began to meld with Catholicism. This syncretism seems to originally have been camouflage, because in the 18th century, celebrating Vodou was punishable by death. The imagery stuck, though, and today Vodou and Catholicism in Haiti are intricately intertwined. By 1773, Haiti's production of sugar, coffee, indigo, cacao, and cotton was the foundation of France's economy, the richest in the world. In 1791, an Ungan named Boukman led a massive slave revolt. Vodou fueled and supported people through 12 years of violent struggle. In 1804, Jean-Jacques Dessalines declared Haiti a free republic. The new state was not recognized. It was, in fact, viewed as an existential threat to slave-owning countries. As Haiti's first president, Dessalines, along with other political leaders, disassociated themselves from Vodou in an effort to ingratiate themselves with other governments. Finally, in 1825, France agreed to trade with Haiti, but only if Haiti agreed to pay France 150 million francs, the approximate equivalent of $21 billion today, to compensate for the loss of slaves. In 1915, the U.S. invaded Haiti and occupied it until 1934 in order to enforce the continued loan payments. The Catholic Church welcomed the occupation. Vodou opposed it. The repression of Vodou escalated. Ridiculously gruesome pulp fiction demonizing Vodou became popular in Europe and the United States. White Zombie, a movie starring Bela Lugosi, was released in 1932. Dozens of movies depicting Vodou as evil followed. In 1957, doctor and anthropologist François Duvalier was elected president. He attacked the elite. Educated Haitians fled. Duvalier took advantage of the power of Vodou to control the country. The Duvalier regime ended in 1986 with a military coup. Because the dictatorship had formed alliances with some corrupt leaders of several Vodou societies, many Vodou clergy were hunted down and killed. It wasn't until 2003 that Vodou was officially recognized as a religion in Haiti. And today, in 2020, my good friend Narat Ilderis is the only member of the Vodou clergy in the entire country to have legal authorization from the government to perform weddings and funerals. The small ceremonies I'd played so far were a good start. I'd begun to meet some incredible, hard-working, forward-thinking, influential people. Victor Boniface, the Guetodi, regional leader of the West, which includes the massive capital Port-au-Prince, asked us to stop by his Lakou and Cabaret on our way north. At that time, Haiti was fractured by violence between competing warlords just north of us. Victor knew this and hopped in our car with no money and no luggage to help us get safely through Saint-Marc and Gonaïves to Port-au-Paix in the far northwest. And then, he stayed with us for the entire trip. That Victor knows almost everybody in Haiti. He is highly respected and was greeted warmly by his fellow Ungan and Mambo all over the country. It was a pleasure to watch him perform Troquet au Som, a complicated dance of honor and greeting between two Ungan. Most peristyle are organized around some kind of pillar that extends from the ground to the roof, called potomitan, literally center post. Veve, intricate designs representing specific lawa, are traced with cornmeal or baby powder at the base of the potomitan, which becomes the lightning rod for the lawa to enter ceremony. We were on our way to play at several ceremonies in and around Ocap, and to meet with Mambo Luis Ana Felipe, widely known as Aida. Aida is an extraordinarily active member of KNVA and the regional queen of Maizan Daomé, a national and international denomination of Vodou dedicated to the health, well-being, and education of children. Aida is a light-hearted but passionate community leader. Her regular Sunday ceremony draws young Haitians from all walks of life, and on the first Sunday of the month, a steady stream of new members are formally welcomed to the community. Many teenagers become Ungan and Mambo in training, and even more join the ranks of the Ungeniko, the singer-dancers. Many accept appointment to service jobs within the congregation, and the kids actively participate in ceremony. Untogi is the term that indicates an advanced spiritual rank of a ceremonial drummer. The root of the word un is the same as for ungan. Ungan and Mambo work closely with Untogi and Ungeniko, the singer-dancers, during ceremony to provide the appropriate energy and atmosphere to host Lawa. In Ode de Cap, I had my first opportunity to play with an amazing Untogi named Fan Fan. traveled to the interior near the border with the Dominican Republic to Wanament. Unfortunately, upon arrival, we were informed that the Ungan we were supposed to celebrate with had been in a motorcycle accident and was struggling to recover in a nearby hospital. The Laku was shaken and worried, and the original ceremony was postponed. Somuntogi, Somungeneko, and a couple of other Ungan showed up to lead a small ceremony to support the injured Ungan. A tiny bell is played to attract healing energy. The bell, often accompanied by a shaker called a son, are sometimes referred to as the tongue of the serpent, referring to the great healing Lwa Dambala Wedo. Victor and I talked a lot. He has dedicated his life to spreading love, kindness, generosity, hope, and simply a helping hand all over Haiti. At many of the communities we visited, Victor spent hours tracing veve in preparation for ceremony, and his favorite, a design I saw him labor over many times, is the veve for Milokan. Milokan, the Lwa that brings everything together, that which unites us. We began to think that the Milokan Project, Projet Milokan An, might be a good name for our venture. Central to understanding Haiti is the fact that from 1791 to 1804, Vodou supported people through a protracted war of independence that succeeded in making Haiti an independent republic. Haiti is the only nation in the world created by a successful slave rebellion. One of the things Victor and I talked about is a different kind of revolution, one that will bring people together with drums, dancing, and spirit. A revolution that will permit the citizens of a desperate nation to have pride in their cultural identity and to grow together into a future less dependent on donations from other countries. At that point in our journey, we were clouds bringing water to the soil, and we weren't sure what specifically would grow after the rain. But we could feel that we were approaching the point at which an idea congeals into specific and directed activity. I didn't know it at the time, but news of our trip and of the many discussions I'd had with Ungan, Mambo, and Untogi regarding the underlying purpose of the mission had reached people at the highest level of Haiti's Vodou clergy. The Ati himself, Vodou's chef supreme, was intrigued. One of Vodou's simplest and most invigorating rituals is laver tête, literally wash the head. It's performed by Ungan or Mambo as a spiritual cleansing. Lwa are not restricted by the gender of their host. Lwa, identified primarily as male, frequently inhabit the body of a woman and vice versa. This is one reason Vodou easily accepts a complex view of gender identity. Mambofuna looks a little out of it. She is, in fact. At this moment, her Lwa, Wav Gede, has arrived and is manifesting his presence through her. It would have been foolhardy for us to venture into the really run-down areas of Port-au-Prince, but we traveled enough inside the city to get a sense of how difficult conditions are there. Guatodi Andre Smurth runs an orphanage deep in the heart of Port-au-Prince. His Laku provides shelter, food, and education for about 75 kids. His peristyle is dedicated to the healing Lwas, Dambala and Aida Wedo, the serpents intertwined, resemblant of the Greek caduceus, the ancient symbol for the medical arts. Haiti's refuse disposal system is barely functional. Garbage, a lot of it plastic bottles and bags, is scattered everywhere. It is eventually shoved into piles and set on fire, burning or melting enough to make room for more. We're on our way to Sodo for the huge annual pilgrimage to the sacred waterfall where sometime in the 1860s the powerful protector of children, Azili Danto, was seen in a palm tree. I'm not really sure if she was seen up in the tree or if perhaps her visage was detected in the bark of the tree. Azili Danto, the Loa, is also revered as the Virgin Mary of Mount Carmel, and every year at this time, Vodouisans flock to the week-long gathering. We arrived at Sodo in the early morning as the residents were cleaning up for the day's influx of pilgrims who would march many hot miles from town up the mountain to bathe in the sacred waters. The great majority of Haitians suffer severe food insecurity, and even at this joyous event, the strain of constant widespread hunger rears its head. The 4-hour parade was boisterous and joyful, and our arrival at the falls was a soft embrace into the gentle serenity of this vibrant spiritual community. When the Loa arrive, it can be a little startling. Ungan and Mambo are particularly graceful and usually expecting to be mounted at some point during the ceremony. We've met a few already, did you catch that? Tijan in Lanfigui, an unidentified Loa in Les Anglais, Taureau in Camparen, Boivguédé in Tomond, and Bacolou in Port-au-Prince. Often, a Loa will mount someone who may not be expecting it. No harm comes to the person mounted, but the Loa, suddenly finding itself in an unfamiliar environment, might be agitated initially, eventually either settling in or moving on. After a fairly grueling couple of weeks in the interior and in and around Port-au-Prince, we drifted south to Jacmel. Guetodi of the southeast, Wood Saint-Antoine, invited us to his lacou, and it was such a beautiful day that we set up outside the peristyle. The sea breeze was gently refreshing, having so recently enjoyed the fevered excitement and drama involving mists of aerosol deodorant, Florida water, and Clarène, Haiti's moonshine, been bathed in smoke, peppered with burning gunpowder, and emerging after several hours of ceremony drenched as thoroughly as if I'd fallen in the water. Mambo Yolande had contacted us to see if I could come drum for a special gathering of regional Ungan and Mambo at a ceremony for the White Loa, those associated with purity and wisdom. It was a high honor, and Victor explained that I had, at some indistinct point in time, stepped over the threshold and was now regarded as Wuntogi. Mambo Monique had told me that I drummed like a bird in flight. Ungan Alan DeGrange thought more like a snake. Victor just shrugged and said, "You bring the spirit." I was deeply honored. And at Canparan, later, Nerat Ilderis presented me with my first baguette magique, the traditional staff carried by Vodouizans of a certain rank. Azili Frida, the Loa associated with love and music and dressed in white, led most of the ceremony. Toward the end, Taureau, the bull, the companion of the great protector Bosu, and wearing traditional red and black, crashed the party dressed in a Chicago Bulls uniform, number 23, Michael Jordan. After a month of travel, we headed back to Ilabash. I took a long walk before a farewell ceremony with Doudou. Fête Guédé is the period of time in the Vodou calendar set aside to honor the ancestors. I had been invited to drum at several ceremonies across Haiti for Fête Guédé in November. Mambo Funa, Mambo Aida, and Gueto di Woodson Antoine had a very busy season planned and asked if I could participate. A lot of what frightens many people about Vodou is the death imagery. The tombs, the skulls, skeletons, chains, and flames. Many of us associate images like this with darkness, the end of life, and even evil. We are used to seeing these representations on Halloween, but for Vodouizans, these images don't inspire fear. Instead, they promote a general, gentle acceptance of death and serve as a reminder of the continued life of the spirit. When a Loa arrives at ceremony, he or she might engage in activities meant to demonstrate the strength of the spirit over the usual fragility of the body. The Guédés in particular engage in this type of demonstration. I've seen Guédés gulp down Clarenne that has been infused with habanero peppers for exactly 1 year since the previous Fête Guédé. They sometimes swallow burning coals or lie down in fire. The energy of L'Englesu is in harmony with sharp objects, and on the rare occasion he arrives, he may dance on broken glass. The celebrant's body comes to no harm. There is a solemn aspect to this holiday season. All of us, while we are moved to celebrate the life of the Spirit, we still miss the day-to-day physical presence of those who have gone before us. Like most religions, Vodou is at ease with death. Vodouisans view the death of the physical body as a transition into a new existence, the realm of the Loa, the realm of the ancestors. The veil between existences is thin. Thus, those who have passed on are still considered present in the life of the family. The ancestors are expected to guide us during this existence, and they will be there to meet us when we cross over. So mostly, Fête Gede is a joyful reunion between those who have moved on and those of us still celebrating this existence. Vodouisans eagerly participate and reach out to touch the energies of their loved ones, those who continue to watch over them, those who will never be forgotten. Mambo Aida and I had spoken frequently of the years I'd been using ensemble drumming as a mechanism to promote community, healing, and growth with groups of people of all ages. She invited me to join Mazan Daome, Dao for short, in their mission to provide the best quality of life possible for kids in Haiti and all over the world. I was given the spiritual name Trois Rivières, 3 rivers. In halting English, my friend Emmanuel, anthropologist and Vodou scholar, explained the name to me. The river brings water. Water is life. We drummed, we sang, we prayed, and we danced. Toward the end of Fête Gede, some of the Untogi from Mambo Funas Laku and I went out to perform a little ceremony for a farmer near Tomond. Kombit is performed to honor Kuzanzaka, the Loa who is associated with the fertility of the land. The call of the conch shell summons La Sirene, the Loa of the sea, and often brings rain. For the first time in 8 months, it poured like it only pours in the tropics. It was an honor to have the opportunity to meet with the Ati, Wenkan Charles Henry de Mornes, leader of the KNVA and Vodou's chef suprême, and his grand serviteur, Mambo Ebony Georges Auguste. Délégué Général Ungan Ivans Francois was there, and so was the extremely well-respected Guetodi of the West, my friend and brother, Victor Boniface. The Ati told me that the KNVA was one of several groups that were actively trying to continue to find ways that Vodou could help to catalyze real change in Haiti. One of his ideas is to create national parks and cultural centers at the sites of old forts built to fight the French during the Revolution. He has spoken with some government officials and feels it may be possible to use those pieces of land to establish fields for community agriculture, ensure a plentiful supply of medicinal herbs, and organize hundreds of workers to begin massive reforestation. The hub of each of these parks would be a cultural center where ceremony would occur regularly, and classes would be offered in drumming, dance, song, herbal medicine, language, metalwork, painting, cooking, history, and environmental stewardship. All of this represents an increase in self-sustainable agriculture, a new source of employment for hundreds of people in nearby communities, the potential revitalization of a tourist industry, and a new wellspring of national pride. The Ati asked if I would like to help with this, and the Milokan Project solidified. I agreed that my organization, Rhythm of Life, would make it a priority to do whatever we can to help turn the ideas we had discussed into reality. Other leaders of the KNVA were excited about our collaboration. I was invited to join and was made an official representative. Late in 2019, I went to Miami to participate in an initiation called Rossman. At the Rossman, I was promoted to Gueto, area leader, and appointed cultural ambassador for the Haitian National Confederation of Vodouizan. In January 2020, I traveled extensively through the South to begin to formally organize the next phases of the Milokan Project. We convened the first Milokan Congress in Okai and met with prominent leaders from across Haiti. The Milokan Congress agreed that we needed to work toward tangible, concrete goals. Currently, we've set our sights on creating the first cultural center. We'll see how it goes, but we believe the center will thrive and that others will follow. Haiti used to have tourists, and the basic infrastructure for that still exists. The hotels are fantastic, old school, not modern high-rise towers. The beaches offer warm water and plenty of sunshine, but definitely need to be cleaned up. Haiti is in fact a beautiful island in the Caribbean, with a deep and vibrant culture that Haitians are eager to share. Certainly there is a lot to be done, and the Milokan Project will take some time to grow. But meanwhile, I brought some friends of mine to share a little bit of what I've been lucky enough to experience. Okay, so what about the other story? The voodoo dolls, poisons, zombies? I haven't seen anything like that. I asked a lot of knowledgeable people about that kind of activity, and I was reminded that most of the scary stuff we've been brought up to believe is fiction, probably originating from exaggerated accounts of ceremonies that preceded violence during the Revolution, later fancified by authors of horror novels, and further sensationalized by Hollywood. However, it is easy to see how some images and activities that are customary in Vodou could be misunderstood, or even intentionally mischaracterized by anyone unfamiliar with the meaning and intent. Do people use Vodou for ill gain? It's fair to say that every religion has its fanatics, those who invite suffering and destruction on others in the name of the spiritual tradition to which they adhere. But this behavior is not in keeping with the values and expressions of Vodou. I haven't seen a published list of tenets, but here's what I've been told and what I've experienced. Faith in God, concern for the well-being of others and the importance of community, joyful participation in prayer and worship, living in harmony with the natural world, trust and understanding in the power of spirit. And now, you've seen some of what I see. Energy, beauty, community, acceptance, tolerance, creativity, passion, spirit, and love.
Avec une maladie divine, on entre dans la vie. C'est la vie. Moi, deux, on s'est remonté.
Se não conseguir nada, eu quero mudar de manhã, eu vou ser feliz. Não, minha aliança.
Bakma nós mesmos estamos na bachata.
E fala aí.
Adê, não sei se vai dar,